Welcome to Future Prospects. I got to tell you something. The guests that I have this evening are incredible. Their story wasn't something that was sent to me on an email. It literally came to me by a good friend by the name of Janice Barry, owner of Seasonal Gardener, founder, created it. She was looking for students to help her out with her close down. But long story short, she got talking to them and she came to me and she goes, you know something, Joy, you gotta get him on Future Prospects. And I'm like, okay. Well, Janice has a heart for youth. And I got talking with them, and these are two young people who came to Canada September the 25th, they can correct me if I'm wrong, to just get cultured, just to enjoy their journey. 19, 18 years old guys, traveling here. And their story is incredible. They cover everything from determination, perseverance, everything. They're here to let you know that when you have the smallest of dreams, just to step out and do it. With no further ado, I want to give it over to these phenomenal people that I truly do say I do love them dearly. Welcome, Anya. Welcome, Philip.
Hi, Joy.
Hi,
We're
sweetheart.
So happy to be here with you.
Oh, my God. I'm so happy you're here. You answered that ad, indeed. You did it. And you're here on Future Prospects.
Yeah, it was crazy this way.
It was, honey. So I know you, and I've become to know you, and really do love you. I can genuinely say that on my show. I really do, because I love your passion. I love the way you are. But I don't want to talk anymore, because we've got so much to cover within this 1 hour. So I want you to educate the viewers who you are, and then we can take it from there. So, Anya, introduce yourself to the viewers, my love.
I'm sure. I'm Anya, like you know.
Yes.
And I lived for, I think, 5 or 8 years in Thuringia in Germany.
Okay.
And then I had to move away from this area because my mom found a new job.
Okay.
So I moved to the East Coast. But before that, I get to know Philip in the 5th class. And yeah.
Okay.
And now I'm here.
And now you're here in Canada.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's a good introduction. Okay, Philip.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm Philip. I'm 19 years old, and I'm also from Germany. And I lived in Thuringia too. And my parents still live there, and we didn't move away. And Anya and I decided to do a work and travel year after our school finished. So we decided to go to Canada, and now we went here and came to this TV show.
Awesome, honey.
Through a job.
Through a job.
Yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh, we're gonna touch about the job in a minute and everything like that. It was really a lot of fun. What made you want to come to Canada at 19 and 18 years old? Like, Lord have mercy.
We saw a picture from the Banff National Park.
Yeah, the typical
The
one.
Banff?
Yeah.
From the Banff, yeah,
Okay,
the
all
typical picture from these blue lake, I think is it
Yes.
called?
Mm-hmm.
And so then we thought about making traveling or doing traveling after
Right.
the school for 1 year, because it's getting popular in Germany to do that.
To travel?
Yeah.
After
No,
school,
to do
like,
a year of break, kind of.
Really?
Yeah, but I would say not that many people are doing this work and travel. Many are going to do an au pair year, or just do a social year in Germany. So not many are going to another country, because it's another step, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But weren't you scared, 19, 18, to travel? Like, was there any fears or anything that question, like?
Of course.
Okay, so tell us.
So, first of all, you don't really know what's coming up in the other country,
Right.
Because
Cold.
there's at least
Cold.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that we know that Canada is a well civilized country,
Yes,
and
it is.
it's not a poor country where you don't have, I don't know, supermarkets or whatever. So you kind of know in what population area you come,
Right.
but you don't know what's really different to Germany. So it was a kind of a surprise what's going to wait here for us. And that's why I also was really scared in the last few hours in the plane before our arrival.
Yeah.
So because you don't know what will come up. And
Yeah, it was just a dream for me. When I talk about my point of view, for me it was a dream to till the point I stepped into the airport. It was crazy because I always was thinking like, oh no, I'm not going to do this because I get so scared from all the people around me because it's such a step and I have to leave my family and my house and my friends, all these things I know. And here I don't know nothing, just Philip.
So you literally stepped outside the box?
Yeah.
You took a leap. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you travel anywhere else? Have you traveled before?
Just with our families.
Yeah.
And
like normal summer holidays or winter holidays.
Within Germany or outside?
Within Germany and within
Germany.
Europe also. Like.
And together we only went to the East Coast where I lived.
In Germany.
Yeah, in Germany.
In Germany.
Yeah, but that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
holy cow. All right, there's a picture I want to show. And this is where I think you were just graduating and you're sharing. You want to bring the picture up, guys? Okay.
Oh,
the
yeah.
reason, no, this is the picture that you sent me, and I love it. Okay.
I love it.
Yes, of course you love it. Yeah, it's giving you a good kiss. All right. So you were graduating here. This
This was from my school.
Okay.
And I think it was before the ceremony, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
It's normally you have after the. Yeah, it's the prom, I think you
Right.
have here.
Same as we have
I
here,
saw
yes.
something like that.
Yes.
And you, just kind of finish off your school life and like leave your friends
Yeah, you
there and
celebrate
all.
it, kind of.
So now the reason why I showed that picture is just to put a little bit of a story to it. You did at that time, was it a conversation before you graduated to do this trip?
Yes,
or
yes,
was
it
that?
was.
Yeah, it was a conversation.
It was
was a
kind of
conversation.
it was kind of the last step before everything kind of moved on because like our first goal was to finish school.
Sure.
And then we thought that we had plans to do after we graduated, so we needed money, of course, for coming here. So we worked 2 months, I think, in Germany at McDonald's. And so after we had our graduation ceremony and we had 1 week of like a last holiday vacation with our schoolmates.
Right.
And then afterwards we went to Frankfurt in Germany and we worked there. And we also flew from Frankfurt.
But it was really hard because we finished our school and there was a big break because there were exams and you have to write. I don't know.
The finals, like?
Right.
Okay.
And so we searched for jobs and something like this, and then we found this McDonald's job. But it was, I don't know, it was not easy because it was different to school, because you are standing now in life and you have to manage things which you haven't to manage before.
Okay, so reality check.
Yeah. It was all done before from our parents, and we had no idea what to do.
It was also the things which you need to come to Canada and get this special working holiday visa is you need many insurances and permissions and a lot of paperwork, and you have to dig through sometimes and like to really force the things to happen, because sometimes there are stones in the way which you have to move, and it was a step to learn to learn this, and that's why we are doing this.
Good for you. Now, how was it like telling your parents?
The thing was that nobody from my parents, nobody expected it.
Yeah.
That we going
I don't
to
think
do
any
it.
parents does.
And I didn't want to do it before. Before we made the decision to do it.
Normally, our plan was to go to study.
Right, to go from high school into post-secondary.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
but you had to tell your parents you're going to go travel to Canada.
Yeah. My mom was like, "Oh no, she wouldn't do it, so everything is fine." And then I know Philip was one day at the East Coast, and then we told her this fact together, and she was like, "Oh, okay," and was like, "Okay, Philip is with you, so everything should be fine."
Okay,
but,
so you won her over.
Yeah.
Okay, that is good.
But she gets really nervous after that, and she was really afraid, and she was like, "Are you sure that you want to do it?" And because you don't know anything there, and you're so far away from your home, and so she isn't able to help me from Germany, you know.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
They can't fly here like
But she
tomorrow or something.
But she helped you by keeping in. Okay, back up here for a second. She helped you by believing in you to take the step. So she did help you, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But
They're not setting stones in the way.
yeah,
So
Right.
they're always making sure that we take it seriously, because it's you have to take it serious, of course,
Right,
and
like
you have to take care of all the steps and don't miss anything.
Right.
So the parents were a really good, like a last check that everything sits and that we don't overview something or maybe take it too easy.
Right.
So that was good to have conversations with them, what they think, what they would do, but they said, yeah, you have to do it by your own. You're not.
Yeah.
They didn't like take anything away and made something.
yeah,
for
I
us.
think it was just difficult for them because when they were at our age, it wasn't even possible to drive through a year or to visit another country, you know, to take a break because they had to get money and to care for their family.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I remember that my mom wasn't too happy about it because she thought that it's better like to go to university instantly after you finished school. She thought it. That's what I say.
That's right.
Because then afterwards she had conversations with many people. We had too, and you always get good feedback about it because it's a step to do it.
That's right.
But of course the pros about it, like you see while we are sitting here, are phenomenal. What people you get to know,
That's
and
right.
what things you learn, which you
Culture.
really need
Yeah.
in
Culture.
your
Yeah, right.
future life.
That's right. We got to go to break, and I'm going to ask you one quick thing, and then we're going to digress and go to break. Why is it important just to go out and do it? Quickly, just really quickly before we go to break. Why?
Because if you want to do it and you don't do it, then you don't really you kind of.
I think when you don't do it at this age, I think it's really hard to get this possibility at another time of your life, because then you have to manage your life with your parents, maybe with your kids later on, and you have to find a job. So it's really difficult to get out of this part of life you have there. So it's not possible to drive through another country.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take a chance.
Yeah.
Take a chance. And on that note, we got to go to break. You guys are amazing. I'm enjoying this so much. Okay? We'll be right back, guys. Do not turn that channel. Welcome back to Future Prospects with Anya and Philip. And I'm going to just listen to you and ask you all these great questions about your trip to Canada. Okay, so you didn't go to post-secondary, you thought about it, you shared it with the kids, you told your parents, and now you're here. But there's more to your journey. We're going to show some pictures, and there's quite a bit of pictures. So we're going to pull them up, show them up on the screen, and then we're going to start. So guys, can you show the pictures for me? Okay. The packing, what's this all about here?
It was so difficult to decide what you want to bring with you.
Okay, that's a woman for you, but go ahead. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a lot?
We just sorted
Yeah.
what to do, what to take and what not, and like in the back you see all the electricity stuff, and
Right.
yeah, we needed a power bank and some
Camping
place
stuff?
Yeah, camping
And winter stuff too?
Yeah, we
At the last moment, we decided to take our winter jackets with us.
Yes.
it was the best idea because
Yeah.
it instantly turned cold.
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick question. Did you know what the weather was like?
No.
You had no
really.
idea.
We thought about, like, of course, you know, always Canada has the hardest winter, and
Okay.
so, but we didn't thought that it will get so hard that, like it is now,
yeah.
it's already snowing outside.
It was
yeah.
crazy because when we arrived, it was really warm, and then it turned a little bit colder, and then it was like 30 degrees again.
Well, can I show you for a second? It's crazy for us too.
Yeah.
Because this isn't supposed to be happening in November, right?
Yeah.
So it was a shock for us too, but it's all
Yeah.
good though. Okay, so there you started packing. So the next picture, here we go. All right, so what picture is
That
this
was on the train on the way to the airport.
Oh, it was
So
so
we
nervous.
had our big backpacks,
Okay.
and we had to take all of our jackets and the biggest and heaviest stuff on
Right.
ourselves.
one?
So
You realize you were coming to Canada and you're going to be approaching winter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, next picture, guys. Now, where was this? This is the airport?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was the point where Philip's mother traveled with us to the airport. So this was the last point where she could go. You know,
So we had to leave
we have
Germany
to leave her.
behind at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
That's kind of the last point where we had connection to Germany,
Yeah.
and
Right.
afterwards security check, and then we went
Yeah.
as two young people into the airport and left our family for
Oh,
a
I
year.
was so nervous. Oh.
And there you were on the plane there.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes, a
the
selfie.
yeah, the plane was still standing, and I was like, "Oh no, it don't go."
Okay, hold on a second. Philip, you don't look impressed. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
he
I-
always don't.
why do you know? What's going through your mind?
I think I was really relaxed at this point because you flew a few times in your life, and you were already
With family.
like still in Germany, and
Right.
Yeah.
so it was, you already had 9 or 10 hours before you,
Right.
but at the last hour in the plane, the kind
Yeah.
of my heart turned on and was bumping, and I thought about, oh
Reality.
no, how
Yeah.
we're going to get to the first
Yeah, because
house
you
we
were
stay, and
Because you were sitting on this plane, and it was so high, and you
You're
saw
so high.
in the air.
I'm having fun with you. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm just having fun.
I was-
Go ahead.
I thought maybe it's a wrong translation, you know.
Yes. No, I'm having
Okay.
fun with you. Sorry, go ahead.
And then we saw how Canada was under us, and it was crazy because it was so different to Germany, because it was also organized, and I don't know, it looked
Toronto from above
Yeah.
was
From the plane?
like
Yeah, from
was
the
really
plane.
impressing, all the straight lanes. In Germany, we don't
Wow.
have, the streets are
Yeah.
like not straight, they're like
They're
if
curving.
if you are going on a street in north direction, you will go north until the street ends, and in Germany you don't know where you go.
You know something? I've flown a
It
lot
just
of.
turns around.
Okay, I've flown a lot of places. I just look out the window and go, oh, look at the lights. But I don't even look at the lanes and. Wow,
It-
that's
yes,
really
it's just what you
Yeah.
see if you
what you
normally-
see. I
No,
guess-
normally I wouldn't recognize it at all, but this was crazy because it was so straight, you know. It was,
Wow.
Just
it was
squares all
yeah, it was,
over.
yeah, right.
Amazing. Next time I go on a plane, I'm gonna look down and go, okay, let me see what I see. 'Cause that was just no. That's really.
And it was not what was also interesting was that it was not like a single metropolitan area, but Toronto is like a few points. There are bigger houses, and in between there are normal
Yeah.
houses which you see all
What is
the
it you want to do
time.
for a living again? What is it you want to go to school for again?
Architecture,
Architecture.
maybe.
No.
I
you're
don't
just-
really know yet.
No, very smart, hon. Anyway, awesome. Okay, next picture, please. All right.
Yeah.
So now, what are we building?
Oh.
Okay, first, you bought the van. That's
This
your
was
van.
this was
was
crazy because
journey.
we always searched for a cargo van,
Okay.
such a big white one, which is a transporter which people are using usually for work.
Okay.
So we would have had more space in it to
Right.
sleep and to move, and but it was so hard to find a car because there we had to go to used car
Dealerships. Mhm.
dealerships, and it's hard because you don't know really, because we are 18 and 19 and we don't know what's I
styles.
have no idea.
Right.
Philip had had a
No
little
experience.
I had a bit experience from Germany, with my father and so
Right.
on.
Yeah.
But it's hard at this normal used car dealerships. They
All different kinds.
and they
Right.
often
Yeah.
the cars are not really fixed. That's
Right.
just like from the outside
Yeah.
they are nice, they will drive, but you don't
Yeah.
know how long.
Yeah,
Nice.
we had, yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
that's
that
the
was
problem.
crazy. We had one which was with three.
300,000 kilometers.
That's a
right.
lot.
And it was really nice.
It was okay,
drove
and then
really
we go
good,
to we went to an inspection, and
and
this
it
wasn't
was
good.
totally
Yeah.
damaged.
Yeah.
$10,000 of repairing costs.
How much they
And
told you?
10,000, I think,
Really?
Yeah.
or 8,000, something like that.
Okay.
And it
all
would
right.
already cost 10,000, and so he said it's very
Yeah.
nice, just needs oil, and then it will run forever.
Yeah.
So what did you end up getting? What did you end up getting? What kind?
Then I had an interview at the Ford car dealership.
Yeah, and I
where-
was sitting at Tim Hortons.
Yeah, and then
Oh, okay.
I came out and wanted to pick her up. So and then I just went by at another car dealer and saw a nice Dodge Grand Caravan, like the ones you see everywhere.
Yes.
And then I just thought, okay, let's step in and ask what's about the car. And so we ended up picking it up because it was really nice. And
You have
Yeah.
you have to mention that our dream was kind of that we drive through Canada with this big car, and it was at one point it was really hard to realize for us that we can't get this car, so we had to start think about getting another car like this minivan, I think you call
Minivan?
it, yeah, and we were like, we can't put this dream away because we want this car and we always want it, so we have to get it. And
we dreamed about having this van life, like cargo van, rebuild
Yeah.
it, and so relatively stealth because you don't have windows and
Right.
something, and you can sit in there and sleep in there. You can
Nice.
cook in there, and there were many points which didn't work really because the insurance won't take you if you say that you are going to rebuild it into
Yeah.
a sleeping cargo van, and they don't want it to have solar system on the top of the van, and that was a point which was really hard. Also, the driver's license was a really bad point because I owned a German driver's license with an international one, and I thought everything's fine with that. But you can drive a car here with that, but you can't insure one. So I had to exchange my German license. Now it's gone, totally gone.
Wow.
And I have an Ontario's license now, and took a while to get it. And
So you had to go
was
with
also
everything
a
to
step.
get that license?
Yeah, it was
it was
also
really
next
hard
step.
because we accepted to arrive in Canada, and then like 3 days we thought we have everything,
That's right. No.
And then
and then
afterwards you see
it was all, it doesn't
nothing.
work
You
like
don't have nothing.
we planned.
Good.
And it was crazy because we were at a point where I told Philip, like, we were so fixed on this car that we forgot that our dream isn't this car, it's the travel.
The journey.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
this was, I don't know, and then it made click, kind
That's
of,
right.
and then we were like, okay, let's search for another car. You know, we don't have to buy such a big one. It's
That's
okay
right.
when we have a little one where we can sleep in, and
Awesome.
that's it.
Yeah, the problem is that the cargo van normally is used for businesses, so they will use it until it's
That's right.
gone. And
But you looked at what you needed to
Yeah.
get across.
and I
trip.
think
Yeah.
I don't know how many kilometers we're going to drive once from east to west and back.
Oh,
and
Many.
so
for some fun. Many.
it's not good if you already have.
Yes, but it's going to be an amazing journey.
Yeah.
Amazing. Some more pitch. That's right. So the building here now. So you're building the frame for your bed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how did you know how to put together all of this? How did you?
I
And
just
Philip
did
was
it.
the brain.
No. Hold on a second here. You told me something else at Starbucks. What did you do?
Oh yeah, we researched a lot.
Research. So you put this together by researching on the internet.
Yeah, it's
Philip-
YouTube's helping you a lot nowadays. YouTube is helping you a
yes.
lot nowadays.
Okay.
And our dream was that we have a bed frame in there which is like foldable, so that you can lift the back up and
Right.
then have a couch in there.
Okay.
So, and it was really hard to imagine everything, how this will fit in there, and how you can lift it up, and it should be secure too because
Right.
you drive with it. And
Sure, be bounced.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying you're sleeping in the back,
Yeah.
but you have to make sure that it's not going to flip up. Because finally, there we go.
It was
Nice.
funny. You asked us how he constructed
Yes.
this bed. It was funny because we were sitting in our room and he was sitting at the ground, and he was like, "Oh, Anja, don't talk to me. I have to think about it." and after I think 30 minutes, he was like, "Okay, I got the idea. I have the solution."
So Anja, you did a face at Starbucks, and you said, "Joy." He just looked, and how did he look?
It was like a light comes on you know.
He just stared.
Yeah, it was crazy. He was staring against the wall for 30 minutes. I was like, "Is everything okay with you?"
30 minutes to think all of it.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
or longer maybe. I don't know.
It was just the bed, like.
Yes.
But yeah,
Just-
it was hard. It had to fit in and to like be removable and had to be easy too. Like
That's right.
We don't have a shop. We
No.
just had hand tools.
So you
normal
have
hand
the bed
tools and-
in there and all of your luggage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Everything is in there.
yeah.
yeah.
So you must-
It's sometimes a mess,
It is. Wow.
Yeah.
but you have to, if you clean it up, then it looks pretty nice.
Right. Oh my good God. So what day did you come to Canada? What month?
You said
You said it
25th.
right. 25th of
September.
September. Yeah.
Okay, September. So we're here in November now. Okay. So when you arrived, did you have to find work, or where did you go from?
Philip knows a friend from Germany, and he was at a man's house, I think 4.5 a year.
He went to school here.
Yeah, he went to
Okay.
school there.
Yes.
And so he heard that we wanted to go to Canada, and his mother was a good friend from Philip's mother. And so they told us, yeah, you can ask him to stay for maybe
Some weeks, or-
some weeks at his house. And we were really happy because it's a good thing that you have something.
That's right.
Some place
Yeah,
where
some
you can
place
go.
where you
yeah.
can-
Concrete.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was really nice and wrote emails about what's going to happen, like at the airport, and how we can get to him. And he wrote really nice emails, and we had nice conversations before we even met. And yeah, he's a really nice
Yeah.
guy, and he helped us a lot to get here.
To get here. So that was the first person you met.
Yeah, right.
So did you have, just to ask you now, just to refresh my memory, did you have contact with him before you came?
Yeah.
We
Did
wrote
you
with him emails like who we are, and we sent him pictures.
Okay.
So not that a stranger comes into his house.
That's right.
You know?
So now, that was the only contact you had here.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Wow. So you think, I want the viewers to think about this for a second. That's faith. That is honest to God faith. You're not only 19 and 18 years old. You come to Canada, you find your vehicle. You have one contact from Germany, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. And then you go from there, and did you work for him, or did you just... I gotta come back. See, I'm getting so involved in your conversation. Guys, just keep watching. Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Future Prospects with Anja and Philip. My God, those were two amazing segments. I love the way we talked off camera because we covered things that's dear to my heart. It's taking a chance, stepping out, believing in yourself, and don't look at the consequences. Just do it, and which you did. So now we covered your van, you learned everything on the YouTube. Now we're going to show a couple more pictures, and we're going to get into some other stuff, okay, about your journey. So can you just show a couple of pictures here for me? So where were you here, my love? It looks dismal, you're in the rain. Where were you?
It was the first day when we drove away from the house, from the guy from Toronto. And this is in Barrie.
Okay, is that downtown Barrie there?
I think.
Yes,
I
I think you said it was. So you're looking for breakfast?
Yeah, we
Yes.
were looking. This was the first night in our van, and it was dark outside, and we had no idea where we could park because we can't stand at the roadside.
Right.
And we have to search for a good area so
Right.
that there are not crazy
Any
people.
crazy people. You can put it
or
like that.
also
Yeah,
the
sure.
police or
Yeah.
somebody that like doesn't like that you stay there and sleep
Right.
there. So we just searched for
Yeah.
a nice area which looks good, and
Yeah.
So we ended up, I don't know, somewhere in the east of Barrie,
I don't know.
Right.
and we don't really know where we stand.
Did you find breakfast that morning?
No,
No.
it rained too hard.
It was raining all the time, so it was really hard, and we had to search a place where we could brush our teeth. it was so bad because we were like, isn't it doesn't look creepy from
The outside?
from the outside,
Right.
like when there are two people are standing somewhere and just brushing their teeth, you know.
So
my
we
God.
stood in the park
Yeah.
and we waited until nobody was there. It was, I don't know, 8 in the morning or
Yeah.
something, and then we brushed our teeth. In
So
the
was it at
park.
the fountain? When you say, oh, you brush your teeth, when do
Yeah.
you brush your teeth?
No, we had like water bottles with us.
Bottle of water.
and,
Okay.
Yeah.
so
All right.
That's
Wow,
how we
guys.
brushed our teeth.
It's funny don't to have a bathroom or something like this, because it was so usual to us that we have our home where everything is, our kitchen where we can cook, and now we had nothing. We have a camping cooker, and that's it.
So you had to compromise
Yeah.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice point to see when you do this kind of van life, that
Yeah.
everything goes a bit slower. So you need to set everything up in the morning when you start to drive, and then you have to think about, oh, where do I brush my teeth? Where do I make my breakfast? Where do I get my breakfast?
That's right. You gotta
And,
plan it out.
Yeah.
Everything's just going slower. You dress at the driver's seat, and
Oh, it's so hard.
It's and
You can't stand up.
So that's like your little house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy because it's warm at night, but when it gets
To the evening.
yeah.
And under the blanket, it's
Under the
warm.
blanket, it's okay. but
But
when you stand up and you have to pull the blanket away from you, you're freezing. So
And what month was this where you're freezing?
We're in right now in November.
No.
At the beginning of
At the
At the
November.
beginning,
yeah.
it was no. At the beginning of what month did you feel cold?
November.
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when we had our first day at Genesis company,
Okay.
we had to search for the right clothes because
Okay.
it's gardening.
Right.
And then
I want you to stop there because
Yeah.
you're fast tracking it just for a second. All right, hold on because we're going to go there. We're going to go. That's a phenomenal part of the story. But let's just show some more pictures here. Okay. All right. So where were you here?
that's
It's in Toronto.
Okay. So
Just-
it's nice and warm there. I know we got a little bit of a
Yeah.
seasonal change there. So that was
Yeah.
just when you came.
Yeah, this was
first week maybe.
I think the first week, and it was great to see such a big city with all these high buildings, but I think I wouldn't like to live there. Because
Why?
It's so busy, you know. It's cool to see to visit it for like 3 days, but I had the feeling that when I was there for I think 2 weeks, it was so I don't wanted to go in the central because there were all people running and it was so busy and it was so stressful kind of.
Right.
And
I think what's good here is that at least everything.
When you say here, what here in Barrie, like
here in Canada,
Oh, Canada. Sorry.
in Canada is that, or at least in Toronto, that all the streets are really big.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even though the buildings are really high, it's not that you really feel like squeezed in a little
Claustrophobic.
in a
Okay.
little space. And I think in Germany, because here the cities are planned, I think, or at least it looks
I
like.
have no idea. I'm not an engineer. They are. Okay. Yes,
But in
they are.
Germany, it might be in the
It's
city
all-
center.
yeah,
It's
it's all
always a bit
smaller.
smaller,
Right.
and like the buildings are closer to each other. So it's you feel a bit more
Okay.
claustrophobic.
So in Germany, it was like medieval, like villages, very, very small.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they. I don't know. Maybe because they couldn't like get rid of a house to build a bigger street. So
That's yeah.
Yeah,
just
everybody-
have to take that
yeah.
what's there. Yeah.
Okay.
everybody have such a big area where they have their houses on, and in Germany it's just like it's the next house. They are so close to each other, and there's not much space, you know.
I want to stop you there because there is a very important story there. There is a very important story. So I'm going to not show the next picture, guys, because I want you to share with me. And this is where I want to get into the Indeed ad. So you're going around, you're traveling, and all of a sudden you realize that you needed a job. So how did you come across meeting up with Janice? How did you find this ad?
We were sitting at Canadian Tire and
Right.
we searched for winter tires because we heard that it's going to snow at the next day.
Yes.
So we are worried about that our car gets snowed.
Right.
So we can't drive
For
anymore.
safety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
safety. Just safety. Because you are in Canada and you don't know what's going to
Oh, we
happen
didn't-
with the snow.
That's right,
And
changes.
we didn't know before. And
Again, we didn't know this is going to be in November. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So we said, okay,
Yeah.
let's just get winter tires now. And then we searched for a job like weeks before. Also,
Yeah.
we searched and searched. We wrote some applications, I think, already like
Right.
5 to 10 or something, but we didn't get an answer yet. And yeah, and with the seasonal gardener, it was like, oh, that sounds nice.
How
There's
did
a
you
phone
find
number.
it? How did you find it?
It was at the website, I think, Indeed.
Indeed? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you
And
called?
I was scrolling the website down, and it was like there were so many jobs, you know, like cleaning dishes or so, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do something like this because it's nice that people are doing this job, but we are here to travel and to get to know people, and
Right.
I don't
So in the
want to
kitchen,
get
you're not going to be doing dishes and we'll be in the back.
We already worked at McDonald's for
Yeah.
2 months, so we had this experience.
Yeah.
So you
And
don't wanna
so
go there
we just
again.
thought maybe
it was
something
good,
new.
but
Good. But you don't want to do it again? Okay.
no, maybe.
It was a good experience, I would say, but it was also hard because you have to stand like 8 hours, and you can't sit down. And my legs were hurting so much.
Okay, on a positive note, McDonald's is a nice place to work. You got good food. Just say.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
I'm just saying. All right.
Free meal every day.
Oh, you had a free meal every day.
Yeah.
So even though you stood for a long time, you got fed well, right?
And there were nice people and to
Yeah, that's right.
work with. And
Okay. So
That's
you
nice.
came across Indeed.
Yeah.
You met up with Seasonal Gardener. This is gardening.
Yeah.
All right. You had no experience on gardening.
No.
No, a bit maybe
A
from
little
home.
bit. We
yeah.
we also worked at the guy where we stayed in Toronto. We worked in his garden
Right.
for one day, I think, only because he had to clean up his stuff because nobody did it. He was renting his house from his mom, I think.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we said we can do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
raking the leaves. And
So how did you sell yourself over to Janice? How did you do that?
I just called her and said we are interesting,
And what did she say?
and she said, yeah, it's really physical, and you have to be aware of
She
that.
said what, sorry?
That's really physical, the job.
Okay.
So that it's going to be hard,
And what did you say?
and that it's outside. And then I
You looked
said,
outside the window and go, what did you say? What did you say?
I just said that, yeah, we will have to take care of that, and we have to, yeah, it's okay for us, and we have to take it. And we wanted to look
yeah.
outside,
Yeah.
to work outside.
You wanted
But I
to-
didn't hear the call because I was sitting in a waiting room, and Philip came back to me and was like, "Okay, Anja, this job is good, but you have to know that it's really physical." And I was like, "Oh, when she mentioned it so many times."
How many times did she mention it?
Philip,
Tons. That was 30% of the
I'm having
conversation.
fun with you here because I love her dearly. How many times did she mention it?
I don't know. I
don't know,
didn't
maybe
hear it.
5 to 10. I don't
But
know.
Philip
dear God.
mentioned. Philip,
But she just wanted to take care that
yeah.
that we won't do it, and then afterwards we say, oh, what the job, we won't do it. And
Okay.
Yeah.
So that didn't scare you at all?
Oh, Philip scared me kind of.
Oh, Philip scared you? Not, okay, all right.
I was like when I would have to when I maybe called her instead of him,
Okay.
maybe I wouldn't be scared at all. But
Gotcha.
Philip came to me and was like, "Anja, you are sure that you want to do this? I can do it on my own, and you don't have to work." And I was like, "Oh no, I can do it. I think."
Because I'll tell you something right now. I'm going to bring up the picture of the crew in a minute, just a minute, guys. But when I first met you, right, and Janice was letting me know that you were starting the job, and Robin, who was the leader of the crew at the time, we were working, what really blew me away is when the van came in, the van was clean to the bones. Right? It was
was
clean.
new.
It was clean. So you strolled in, and all of a sudden you came out like two models. And I swear to God, I looked and I went, damn. Because I checked out my shoes, I checked out my top. I just made sure. I said, holy shoot. Like, you had the boots on, the coats and everything. It was just incredible because you were so humble to do whatever it took, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what just touched me. But anyway, let's just show the crew. Okay. So here is this wonderful crew, which again, I do love, okay? Okay, so this is in the snow. So this is where you were in there. So we have, now you can say that yourself there, Philip.
Yeah.
Okay, Anya, and beside her is
Brittany.
Brittany, Robin, and Alan.
Right, now just to go through it, I want to say something on camera. These crew were literal angels.
Yeah,
All
that's
of you
right.
guys were angels, okay?
Yeah, they are.
Because you really are. Brittany is incredible. Right there in the back there is Robin, who is an amazing crew leader. Like, she's just phenomenal. Took in, right? Never did anything like this before and just made it. And then there is Alan. God love Alan, you know. And but we had fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
Did you
it was
enjoy
great.
working with
Yeah,
them?
it was great.
Oh,
Yes.
The Tim Hortons coffee in the morning.
Oh yeah, thanks.
That's new here. We don't have it in Germany.
You don't
But
have it in
it's-
Germany?
No.
Everyone is going to Tim Hortons
It was
in the
so-
morning,
yeah,
and it's saving
yeah.
their
Tell
life.
us about Tim Hortons. Why did you love Tim Hortons so much? Oh, hold on, back up for a second. How did you find out about Tim Hortons?
It was like everywhere where we go was like it stands Tim Hortons.
So we just
And we
wondered,
were
what
like,
is that?
yeah, we were like, what's that? What's Tim Hortons? I was like, Tom Hortons or Tom?
Okay. Now, what did you do quickly before we go to break? What kind of a beverage did you fall in love with?
I with the chai vanilla.
Sorry? Chai tea?
Yeah.
Oh, you fell in love with the chai
Yeah.
tea. Okay, what was your beverage?
I like most of it.
Most of
but
it.
the coffee is good, yeah.
Okay. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. All right? Stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Future Prospects. Before we end this show, I'm going to get these guys to do a little bit of a jig. We're going to do something before we leave. We got to. This is the last segment. And I've enjoyed every single moment of you guys being here. Your story's incredible. There's so much more we can delve into, but it's only an hour show. But I'm going to zip this, as I always try to keep on focus, because I get so excited with my guests. Now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Right? So, 18, 19, all right? You left Germany, you took a year off from school. I'm going to propose the questions to you, you're going to answer them. Is it wrong to have done what you've done?
No.
I think it's, you know, people are acting like society wants you to act, kind of. And I think it's not wrong to act different because who says that it's wrong how we acted, you know? I think it's a good thing because people learn how to think by themselves, and we had our own opinion what we are going to do after school, and many people are, told us that it's not right, maybe we should think about it, and we were like, we keep our own opinion, we listen to them, but it's important that their opinion don't get your own opinion, you know?
That's right.
You just have to like think about what's going to happen if you do it and if you don't do it. So I think like the most effective thing which we have as a bad thing now is that we maybe will forgot some things that we learned in school, and then when we are in university we don't know all anymore. Mm-hmm. But I think like when you are in university you will learn a lot of things. And
what are you learning in university that you're learning now? What are you learning now
it's two
that
different
university could have not taught you?
Two different, complete different
Which is?
things. And university, you learn something where you're interested in, like you study something and you want to get a job in this area,
Right.
in this part, yeah. And but this one we are doing for our own person. We want to see something from the world, and I don't want to lay in my bed with, I don't know, 90 years and think like what I have done in my life. Like I went through to university after school. I want to tell my grandchildren's like, oh, I were in Canada for 1 year and I traveled with him in a little car. Sorry.
We love you, Philip. But go ahead. Go ahead.
And we lived in a little car, and it's also a big task because you can't when we have an argument with each other, you learn how to deal with each other.
That's right.
Yeah, and
If we can survive a year in the band, then we might survive a life too.
Yeah, it's right.
Alive. Oh. Oh.
So I think you just get to know things that you normally wouldn't get to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you meet new people, you get to know new perspectives of the world. I think the people here are so open-minded and they are so
crazy.
nice to everyone, and everyone wanted to help us when we meet someone. Everyone said, "Oh, you can park in my driveway. It's no problem. You can use the washroom," and so everyone's helping. And I think you wouldn't see that in Germany so often, at least what I experienced. And I think it's very
You wouldn't see
good.
this in Germany?
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
If it's like
I think
if it's the wrong perspective that I have, but I think everyone is a little bit more concerned about themselves, and maybe that's a bad person, and maybe they're going to steal something out of my house if I let them in.
You know, I think this perspective comes from the TV, kind of, because when you watch TV, you always see a child was killed by someone, and there are not news like, oh, a man helped an old lady through the street.
Positives.
Yeah. And so I think all the people getting kind of afraid from other people, and this is a big thing we learned here in Canada, to be more open-minded and to help other people's
Just help. And if you don't.
If it's just a coffee or something like this, you know.
Yeah, I think that's what. If everyone helps each other a bit, then the whole world would get a bit more easier to live in.
Say that again slowly.
If everyone would help each other a bit, then the world would be a better place.
We just care about ourselves, kind of.
And that's what you learn when you are here. And I think that help is nice. That when someone helps you, it really.
And I mean, you feel
you
also
something.
good when you help someone.
That's
you know,
right.
Yeah.
It's such a great feeling when you can give something to another person, and you know they are happy about it.
If someone says thank you to you, that's. We learn to say thank you while we are here on the trip.
You teach us to say just say thank you.
Just say thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, you're choking me up here. Anyway, you guys are amazing. That's all I can say. You really are. What have you been blessed with since you've been here?
With the people, I think.
Okay.
Canada is a great country, you know. It's so different to Germany. It's also big, but the people are so different. They are, I don't know, they are so lovely, and they are. I mean, at the moment we live at Janice's dad's house.
Yes.
And
What's he like? What's Charlie like?
Charlie's a great person.
He's our lifesaver, and he's so funny, and you can talk. And I think what that is really nice. He's one of the older generations, and normally they are more like conservative and think that
but Charlie
good like that.
not,
but
he's not like this.
He has his opinions, and he thinks about it, and he's open-minded, and it's nice to see that also one of his generation can be open-minded, and that not all the older people are conservatives, but that's some people are like that, and some people are like that, and. So
and
it's
we're
really
so
nice.
lucky to have him in our life, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes. How about Janice? How working with Janice? How is that what you've learned?
It's great. Janice is a great woman.
And she's a very good company boss. She knows how to be so nice to the employees, kind of, that they like to work.
Gotcha,
and
man.
I like, for example, we drink a Tim Hortons coffee every morning together while driving to the first job, and so that it just makes the day if you get like these little things
that
make
not having to
like, you have to work, if you stand there for 30 seconds and like talk to each other and
That's right.
chat. And so that makes the whole day a nice day and not a work day.
That's
and
right.
I think that's a huge difference also to Germany. Maybe I wouldn't expect such a job in Germany. I wouldn't expect in Germany to have someone taking you to Tim Hortons in the work time and having a coffee. And so, and that's something what makes you work better and harder.
That's
I
without
think
that's bad.
I think the great thing about Janice is that it doesn't feel like she is the boss. It feels like she's just like us, you know. She is a human, and she also made mistakes, and you don't feel under pressure that you make something wrong, or
Right.
you know.
She encourages and lets
Yeah.
you feel better about yourself
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Special lady. We've only got 3 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes left. Oh God, you got to come back. What was I going to say? What is you're so proud of yourself from this whole journey? What you've done as young people, so young. What are you so proud of? What you've done?
I'm proud that we got self-confident enough that we helped each other, kind of, because it's really hard in our age group for young girls or boys to stand just up and do what they want to do, because
It was also hard for us.
Yeah,
like,
it was really
at
hard.
some point, someone just says, why do we do this step like that? And for example, this cargo van situation, like we don't find one. So I always said, I want one. So we're going to search and search and search. And at some point, I just said, maybe it's not going to work, but what are we doing then? And then there's someone else here that helps and that says, no, Philip, it's okay. We're going to find something which is also nice and which will also be
good.
the nicest thing that you can do. So it's nice to have someone like this in your life.
You can turn it
Helps you out.
to the best thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
You don't have to lie down and always look at the bad.
Yeah.
You can also look at the good.
Yeah.
Right?
So you need your goal and then you're just going to reach it. And sometimes there are stones in the way and you have to decide when you go above them or another way. But
You got it.
if you want your goal, if you want to reach the goal, then you can just make it.
you can
Because
reach it.
why wouldn't you make it?
Yeah, it's crazy because people are always dreaming of things which they could do, but nobody is. The most of the people are not self-confident enough to say, okay, I make my dreams come true. You know, I think this is a really big topic in our age group.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah.
My physics teacher always said
Really
a nice
quickly.
quote, and he always said, if you don't start, then you will never finish. And I think this is good.
That's right. And on that note, sweetie pie, we do have to go. We've got to try and get you guys back before you go off to BC.
Yeah.
Truly love you, Ananya. I love you too, Philip.
We
You
love you
guys
too.
are amazing. All right? Okay. Bye, guys.